Welcome to my channel. I've decided that this year is the year I'm finally gonna stop procrastinating and start making videos the way that I've always wanted to. I'm a licensed cosmetologist of about 5 years now, and the content that I'll be producing will be from that perspective. And I'm just gonna show you guys today how to get a really big fake bun when you have not so much hair. So stay tuned to figure out. So stay tuned to see how we get the look, okay? All right, so I just took my hair down and this is what we got. Obviously my hair is really not super long, but I'm gonna be showing you how to make it look like it's long, or at least look like it's really thick. So you get this, you know, like that big messy bun that everybody loves so much. First things first, what I'm gonna be doing, or at least the secret to the look, is extensions. So by no means do you have to get the most expensive, the most whatever extensions for this particular look. If you want to use if you want to get extensions and you want to use them for actual, like looking like hair, real hair, and treating them like real hair, such as like hot tools and thermal styling, you definitely want to get something that is human hair, preferably Remy human hair. You know, if you have questions about what that even means, we can get into that, you know, in another time. But if you want to get extensions for that purpose, then you'll probably want to go with something a little bit more high quality. But if you just want something to like clip into your head and, you know, maybe make a ponytail or whatever, then you can just get a synthetic, you know, clip in either ponytail or bun extension, like whatever it is that you prefer. You don't have to spend a whole lot to get the look. I am gonna be using just like a pack of regular extensions. I don't know if I'll use the whole thing. I usually don't when I make my buns, just because I know what my hair can hide and what it can't hide. But you can always get a clip-in ponytail extension. I'll leave some links below so you know what I'm talking about, but they do make extensions that are just for ponytails and are just supposed to look like, you know, you clip it on right there. It's not supposed to be a whole head of anything. So you can always do that. It's cheaper than getting a whole pack, but I just have a pack of extensions and I don't feel like buying more hair just to have a ponytail. So this is, like I said, this is my hair. It's you know, not so great. This is like second day. I would recommend doing this on second day hair as well, just because, you know, there's more grit, especially if you have finer, like softer hair like I do. But if it's clean and you still want to get, sorry, that's my cat. But if it's clean and you still want to get the look of, you know, or like the feel rather, I'm sorry. If it's clean and you still want to make it work like it is dirty hair, then I recommend using a texture spray or a dry shampoo. I'm probably going to do that anyway, just to like give myself a little bit of help. So let me just grab that. I use the Moroccan oil dry shampoo. It's for brunettes. So what I usually do is I lift up and I just kind of, you know, spray it in there. I'm gonna use a brush. I just like to kind of work it through, whatever. So now we're gonna get our hair ready to be put in a little bun. I recommend using a smaller hair tie. If I'm gonna wear my hair up and just like not do all this, I'll usually use a hair tie that looks something like this. I believe they're like the Invisibobble brand. They kind of look like phone cords. And yeah, they typically don't like rip and pull the hair out. And I like to keep as much hair on my head as I can. So if you're gonna do this, I recommend something a little bit smaller, a little less bulky, so that there's not so much to disguise when you start to pin your bun down. So I'm just gonna grab like a normal hair tie, wherever they are. My brush, this is my brush. I'm just gonna get it. I'm gonna leave my bangs out. Sometimes I put them in, doesn't really matter. That's a preference thing also. And this would be the point if you like to have baby hairs or like little, what's the word? I can't think of the word. These, whatever, you know. But these pieces, if you like to have like little face framing hairs, like you really want to make it messy and like pull some hairs out, you want to do that before you really secure everything, because sometimes when you try to pull these hairs out after your hair's up, it can kind of like ruin the shape of what's happening everywhere else. So I'm gonna do this, and also excuse me because I have a little mirror a little closer in front of me so I can really see what's going on with my own head. So I like to just, you know, brush it up, get it going. But you wanna brush up and make sure that it's, you know, relatively smooth before you secure it down. And I'm actually gonna let some of my like little white hairs get in there because it kind of goes with, you know, messy, I didn't even think about putting my hair up kind of look, you know? So we'll get this here. And now my hair it's getting long enough to get to this point without it, you know, falling out in the back. But realistically, this is a messy bun, so it's fine if some of these little guys back here that maybe you can't put up either, if they fall down, that's fine. Like, let's be honest, it's messy, like let's roll with it instead of trying to fight it. So I'm gonna grab that hair tie. So now that it's here, it's a little bit lower than what I want, so I'll probably I push it up, like push the hair tie up and then just separate it, you know, that usual trick that we always do to get our ponytails a little higher. So now that we're here, you know, it's kind of where I want it, and you also have to take into account that where we're gonna clip the extension around our own ponytail. And you have to remember wherever you're putting your ponytail, your extensions are gonna sit around. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'll show you what I mean as I kind of go through it. So I'm gonna pull down some of my little guys. I don't like them to be too long because I just feel, I don't know, I don't like to go too crazy on my personal baby hairs. Just because I think if my hair is dirty, which it usually is when I'm doing this style, that they can kind of just look stringy and like greasier, and I don't really want that. If you find that your hair doesn't really smooth back easier or as easily as mine does, then you can use something, ooh, it's really dirty. Well, it is my brush. More stubborn or coarse hair texture, it'll help lay that hair a little bit flatter if you have a lot of volume going on. But if you want volume, just leave it. So again, I'm gonna push it up, it's still like not quite sitting where I want. And now I'm gonna, you know, use my hands a little bit and pull. I like to push my, I'll show you. So I like to, because I have nails, if you don't have nails, like don't worry about it, but I like to push my fingers inside the hair, like you can see my nails are in there, and I just kind of like pull down, I push my fingers up so that it loosens some hair, but it doesn't like make it crazy or anything. So now that that's in, I'm gonna back up. And now we've got this like little ponytail situation, but it's like pretty smooth, and you don't wanna have to worry so much about seeing, you know, short hairs and long hairs in this bun. You wanna see just a gigantic bun. So what I like to do is rough up this ponytail like kind of a lot so that the clips it'll blend in with that hair. It'll just kind of look like a mass instead of a couple different lengths. So I'm gonna do that first by spraying a little dry shampoo into these ends. You can also use a texture spray. And now I'll take my brush or even a comb. If you have a comb, that'll work better if your hair's a little bit like finer and like mine is. I don't really feel like going and finding one, but you can use a brush too. I just pick up my hair. Can I go lower? A little bit. I just pick up my hair like this and I push it from root to end, or the other way around, from ends like down, and I just do a big back comb so that it just makes it real messy. When your hair is really messy like that, when you're doing something like this, it just adds to the volume and the size of your bun. So you wanna make sure if you don't have a ton of hair that you're doing this step so that it creates the illusion of having a ton of hair. So I'm just gonna pick like a random chunk of my ponytail. I don't have all of it, and I just kind of do one of these. It looks literally wild, but it's fine. It works out in the end. Keep going until you have like the majority of it done. And now I've got like this crazy thing happening in the back. I'll show you. And once I get most of it done separately, I'll just grab the whole ponytail as a clump and do the same thing. And so now we have this like really chunky, weird thing happening. So I'm gonna get some of my extensions. I typically, if you have regular extensions, you don't have a ponytail extension, then this is gonna be helpful to you. If you have a ponytail, don't have to worry about picking what you wanna put on your head, okay? What I typically will do is a regular pack of extensions will come with like two clip wefts, 2 3 clip wefts, and a 4 clip weft, I believe. So I'm gonna use my two clip wefts. You could, you know, if your head's bigger, maybe you use more, but my head, you know, I don't wanna show those like corners of the wefts. So I'll show you what I mean. And one of these two clips is gonna look a little roughed up because I used it for this purpose like a couple days ago, so sorry. So this is what I mean by a two clip weft. Can you see it? Okay, so this is what I mean. There's one there and one there. And you know, the hair is not super thick or anything, but it's longer, and we don't really, this is our thickness, you know, like from your own head. We don't really need it to be super thick, and I've got two of these here to make my hair a little bit denser. So you're gonna unclip it. What I like to do is I like to do one in the back underneath my ponytail and one in the front on top of it. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna get real close. So I'm gonna flip this one like that so that the clips are going that direction. And I just like to kind of, I don't know if you can see, I just like to snuggle it like right in there. That's the clip. I like to get right in there and just snap it down. There you go. Whoop. This clip is a little bit loose, so I kind of have to take a little less hair in it, but you shouldn't have that problem. And the same thing on this side. Can you see it? Push it right. And I like to try and get as close to my ponytail as possible so you don't really see it. So I'll just go right up in there and clip that one down as well. So now we've got this thing happening. Looks really crazy. I know, it's fine. Now I've got this weft, and I'm gonna go underneath and come at it from that direction. Unclip it, and now I'll spin a little bit so I can show you. So I'll flip this one, like I'll keep it like this with these clips out, flip my ponytail forward, and clip underneath. I hope that these aren't the most blurry shots ever, but we'll see. So I like to go like this, and I like to smush it. Like I'll start where the other clip ended, and I just do this by feel because I can't be bothered to use like two mirrors. So I just clip it there. And again, we're gonna pin this so it doesn't have to be the most perfect, like, you know, clipped in thing. Because once you have the pins securing the long hair, it really doesn't matter if the clips are deeply in there. Oh, knocked my own glasses off. Okay, now we've got this situation. So this looks better than it did before, but I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with my actual ponytail, where I just kind of back combed it, and I'm gonna do another round of dry shampoo. I'm sorry, I don't mean to scare you. My cat finally settled down. She's sitting on the rug behind me, and I scare her with things like that, I guess. So now we're gonna take this, I can back up a little bit, and we're gonna do the same thing, like from the ends and push back so that you get, you know, all that going on. So like just like that, just push it all back in there. Because we're not going for a ponytail today, we're going for a bun, so we don't need this hair to be looking so perfect and so nice. And again, I'm just looking in this mirror down here, making sure I'm not making my life harder. Same thing over on this side. Just make it like literally as big as you possibly can. So if you make the bun big, when you roll it around, if you make the bun big, when you wrap it around the base of the ponytail, you won't be able to see it if the hair is like super puffy and super wide. Okay, so here we go. Now you're gonna get your bobby pins, your hairpins, whatever it is that you like to use. I really like to do a mixture of both. I feel like hairpins get like the majority of your bun in the right place, and bobby pins are like the fine tuning aspect of putting your hair where you want it. So I'll show you the difference between those two. Because I feel like hairpins, like people don't even use them anymore. It's a shame. A hairpin, which looks like that. It's wide, it's open like this when you buy it. It's not closed like a bobby pin. This, come on, is a bobby pin. So they're a little bit different. This one's closed. This is like for fine tuning, like I said. And this one is for hooking big chunks of hair and securing them down because of how big that they are. So I'll be using a mixture of those. And now that I have my big giant, like nasty looking ponytail, now we're gonna make it a bun. So what I like to do is I'll take it and I'll twist the hair like this, loosely, like real loose. Just so that I don't mat down. And by mat down, I don't wanna compress that like fluffy texture that we just made. So I'm just loosely twisting it to kind of keep those hairs together. So we're just gonna do that. And don't worry about like, you know, the rest of your ponytail, we'll address it. So now I've got this, and so now I'm just gonna wrap it around the base of the ponytail. Just wrap the whole thing around. Just go for it. And again, this is gonna be messy, real messy, and not the good kind at first. So I have the hairpin, and I'm just gonna kind of grab this chunk over here and anchor it down. And by anchor it down, again, let me get close. I'm gonna stick one corner of it in and then just yank it and shove it back up into my hair. Okay, so we're just gonna grab it. And don't let it go until you have like a couple of these bigger pins in there to secure it. Because if you let it go too early, then you're just gonna be stuck with, you're gonna have to start all over because you won't have anything stuck onto your head. Okay, so now where my hands are is where the ends of my ponytail just were. So again, you know, stick the corner of the pin in and push it up and in. And I know my hair, I know that my hair will stay like up there with two of those. That's not the same case for everybody because not everybody has the same head of hair. So now we're looking at just something, you know, wild. These are my shorter hairs, okay? So I like to take these and I twist them as well to keep the hair together as to not separate it. And then I use the bobby pin and I'll tuck all the hair inside the bobby pin, just like this. So now all the hair is in one little thing. And then I'll just push it right underneath and into the rest of it so that it's already taken care of. All I have to worry about are like these little guys and then just pulling the bun out. But we're gonna continue to secure those long hairs down before I move on to like shaping. Okay, so now I've got this situation. Don't like that, but before I pin that down, I wanna fluff everything out so I can see exactly how big it's gonna get before I'm like finished with it. So I'm just gonna pull and just keep on pulling and pulling it up and forward. And I'm trying not to pull out too much of what I just pinned down. But the reason why we're fluffing this out is in case there is like a weft, like there's one right here. In case there's a weft, then I can at least take some of this hair and like tuck it on top of that so that you can't really see it. So we're just gonna like get it as big as possible and we'll repin if we have to, and I definitely will, and that's fine. So now, again, back to crazy. That's good. So another bobby pin. Be too crazy about getting it tight when you get those shorter hairs down. It's better to leave them a little looser and make it look like they have the movement of long hair than to try and like really secure them down. Because if you pin it too tight into the bun, it'll kind of like create a crease and it'll dent the whole look and it'll look like you're trying to hide something. And I'm really not trying to do that. I'm just trying to, you know, get a huge giant bun. I just go around and I feel like for extension clips that might be showing. This one's the most glaring one. I'm sure you can see it like right in there. So I'm just gonna take this hair and I'm gonna pin it right down. And then I'll decide from there if I wanna like refluff or anything, which I might. It all depends on the shape. Again, I'm just looking in this mirror in front of me down here, seeing where I need to actually pin it to keep those hairs covered. And now I'm just gonna like fine tune this lump of hair so that I can make sure it's not gonna like move around too much on me during the day. And if I wanna kind of loosely, like these, if I wanna loosely pin them, I'll do the pinch kind of technique and put a pin right at the very base and just sneak it right in there, just so it's a little bit more secure, because you never know what's going on. Okay, and then feel around the rest of your head. Feel if there's, you know, anything poking out. Like I said, I would rather people see a bobby pin than a clip. So, you know, try and make sure that you're not exposing that. This technique, we like to put the pin around the hair that we're trying to keep down instead of just, you know, hoping. And then I also will just pin things into the bun because that typically works pretty well. And now I'm gonna back up. Now you could always add more hair to this bun, but the more hair, and by more hair I mean the more clips, the more hair, the more clips you add, the more bulky and the harder the clips are gonna be to hide. So this is the look. It's pretty simple. You don't really have to do a whole lot. That's why I like to do something like this on like second day hair. Thanks for checking out the video. If there's anything you'd like to see from me in particular, like things that you wanna learn how to do, just let me know, either drop them below. I'm gonna leave the links to all my socials below as well. But yeah, thanks for checking out the video. I'll see you next time. Bye.